How's it going, you guys? So, recently I have decided that I cannot consider a vegan diet healthy anymore. We all know that I had my own troubles and health issues on a vegan diet, but it's come to my attention over the past year, 2 years actually, that the vast majority of vegans suffer from extreme health issues, and they simply either do a really good job of covering it up, especially with skin issues. Like, if you notice, most of these vegans, they heavily edit their videos. They change the brightness and the contrast, or they cover up using makeup. Even guys. I think the guy's name is Ted Carr. He wears makeup, which is interesting, or at least from what I've seen. Many women do that. They use plastic surgery and other things. A lot of vegans get fake teeth. Maybe I should invest in some of those. But the point is, they suffer from health issues and they can't seem to realize that it's their nutrition, that it's their diet. Um, Most vegans, their teeth are falling out, especially raw vegans. Raw vegans are the absolute worst. And most of them look like they're on meth. But they're extremely, they suffer from extreme health issues, all sorts of health issues, whether it's from deficiencies or from food intolerances. Um, so the question then would be, well, what diet do you think is healthy, Mr. Wolfgang, since you're Mr. Health Guru, shitting on all these vegans, blah, blah, blah. Okay, and I want to make it clear that it's nothing personal, but this is just my own perspective on health, and it has nothing to do with who those people are. I do believe that most of them are mentally ill, though. So, essentially, I think the best way to go is to, for one, go on an elimination diet, specifically an autoimmune paleo diet like I did, and eliminate any potential food allergen, okay, especially wheat, any kind of gluten, remove grains, remove um, even nightshade vegetables, remove dairy, remove peanuts, all nuts and seeds, etc., from your diet, and then slowly add them back in, one by one, and only about 4 days at a time. And keep a food journal and log your reactions to these foods. A lot of people react to dairy, wheat, and peanuts. And my girlfriend had fibromyalgia, and it was caused by wheat and peanuts. I was having hives caused from all sorts of grains, but especially peanuts. And I had horrible digestive issues from most complex grains, complex carbohydrates. And cow's milk makes me have mood swings, but I've noticed that goat's milk doesn't seem to do so. So after you find what foods cause problems for you, just remove those foods. Make sure to include some form of animal flesh in your diet. And if you're underweight, you should probably eat more animal flesh. If you are an athlete, eat more animal flesh. And the less cooked it is, the better. But keep in mind that some types of animals are more dangerous than others. Specifically, if you're eating conventionally raised animals, that poses a greater risk for some type of infection. But um, I've seen, to me personally, that the vast majority of of the fear surrounding raw animal products is extremely exaggerated, and most cases of food poisoning only comes from cooked food. Okay, like for example, at a restaurant, if they cook food and then they save leftovers, um, bad bacteria grows very rapidly on the cooked food, and that can cause food poisoning. And most of the time, this is the case. Um, So, and do your own research on this. If you're triggered by this and you think I'm an idiot for this, chances are you just haven't done your own research and you're just kind of like, um, you're acting without thinking. You're freaking out with no logical basis for it. But essentially, raw foods are great, especially raw animal products. Especially things like sushi or raw fish. I eat a lot of that. Raw eggs, specifically organic or pasture raised, not pasteurized. Pasteurized is not good, but pasture raised, okay, organic eggs, raw milk. These things tend to be very beneficial, specifically raw goat's milk or sheep's milk. Cow's milk tends to cause problems for people. And then a variety of fruits and vegetables, only the ones that you can tolerate. But a lot of people experience severe digestive issues from these things. And so, if you have horrible digestive issues, for the first few days it's normal. But if you still have bloating and gas from fruits and vegetables, or mainly from vegetables, especially things like kale and spinach, which tend to cause people a lot of problems, then after 2 weeks, if you still suffer from those digestive issues, remove those and just focus on the foods that are fine. Raw honey tends to be great, despite the fact that the bee population seems to be declining, certain species of bees. Obviously, beans, nuts, and seeds tend to cause people problems, but there are ways to sprout them and soak them and make them easier to digest. Medicinal herbs are absolutely excellent, but you just gotta know how to use them. I have a lot of videos on different medicinal herbs. Keep in mind, a lot of people actually suffer from tannin allergies, like red wine and tea and coffee can cause you all sorts of strange brain fog and jitteriness and whatnot. And it's not the sulfites in wine, it's the tannins in red wine. White wine has sulfites but no tannins, and most people can do white wine but not red wine. And teas and yerba mate and whatnot, it's not the caffeine but the tannins that cause people problems a lot of time. And if you can consume guayusa or runa, or you can consume caffeine pills with little problem, it's because they don't have tannins in them, such as tea and coffee does. However, whatever. So avoid processed food, obviously. I mean, there's a large amount of things to avoid, but most people should already know based on common sense. Be mindful of your salt intake, eat no processed foods, eat no fast foods. And then beyond that, once a week, like if you're already in great health and you're exercising vigorously, if you're an athlete, it's okay to slip on your diet, maybe 10% of the time. Like once a week, you can go and have a crazy cheat meal, like a pizza or something. But keep in mind that food is going to make you feel like death. It's going to make you feel like crap, because when you eat healthy, you start to get used to these clean foods, and you don't, then your baseline of well-being is feeling healthy and great. But then whenever you eat these foods that aren't good for you, you experience that malaise and general feeling of sickness and horrible digestive problems. So anytime you have a cheat meal or a cheat day or something like that, you'll remember why you chose to eat healthy and remove junk in the first place. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, processed foods, hydrogenated oils in general, breads and all these things, remove them. Frozen foods, candy, processed sugar, baked goods, pre-made rice mixes and crap like that, remove them. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Let me know what you think. I'm trying to make things really simple and fit them in 10-minute videos, because at the moment I can't upload from my computer, so these long detailed videos, I can't upload them right now, so I'm only doing 10-minute videos on my phone. So yeah.